Welcome to the Morning Update. I'm Erin Ramsey. Detectives have returned to Carnarvon in WA to determine if anyone else was involved in Cleo Smith's kidnapping. It follows claims from the 4-year-old that a woman brushed her hair whilst she was in the home. Detective Sergeant Cameron Blaine has urged anyone with information to come forward.
We just asked that if there was anyone that had any contact with Mr. Kelly, whether you saw him, whether you met with him, whether you spoke to him on the phone during the relevant period, to please make yourself known to police.
Younger children are not expected to be eligible to receive a COVID-19 vaccine until next year. Australia's drug regulator is still assessing whether it's safe to roll out the Pfizer vaccine to those aged 5 to 11. Former Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr Nick Coatsworth says medical experts need time to properly assess the formula for children.
We have to assess the risks versus the benefits and follow the nations that are leading the world, not following the US, which has probably been the worst performer for COVID-19 during this pandemic.
50,000 at-home charging stations for electric vehicles are set to be rolled out as part of Canberra's push towards net zero emissions by 2050. The Future Fuels strategy will see 1.7 million electric cars on the road by 2030. It's forecast to slash carbon emissions by more than 8 million tonnes by 2035. Over 70,000 senior students in New South Wales will have to wear a face mask when they sit their final school exams, the first paper beginning today. And the United States has reopened its borders to fully vaccinated tourists. It will welcome foreigners from 33 countries who've been locked out for 20 months. To sport, the semi-finalists in the T20 World Cup have been finalised. Australia play Pakistan on Friday, while New Zealand face England in the other. A new tournament has been added to the Australian golf calendar. Royal Queensland will host the inaugural Carrie Webb Cup in January. And wheelchair racer Madison De Rosario has become the first Australian woman to win the New York Marathon. In entertainment news, the lawsuits are starting to pile up against Travis Scott following the Astroworld Music Festival tragedy. Each lawsuit claims he failed to provide adequate security and a plan to protect attendees. 8 people lost their lives in a stampede during his performance in Texas. He's since stated that he will refund tickets. Vin Diesel is calling on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to rejoin Fast and Furious for the 10th and final installment of the franchise. This comes after a very public feud between the two Hollywood heavyweights. And Alec Baldwin wants police officers to be employed on all film and television sets that use guns to monitor safety. The actor accidentally shot and killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of his film Rust last month. That's your latest from the Nova podcast team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.